Welcome to the Love Your Life and Yourself podcast, the weekly show where science meets soul and mom chaos meets mind mastery. You're not just a mom. You're a woman with dreams, a career, a body that needs care, and a soul that craves more. This podcast is your permission slip to stop surviving and start thriving in motherhood, health, career, and stress resilience. I'm your host, Dr. Ashley Rath, and every week we bring you actionable insights and transformative conversations to help you create a life you truly love. From evidence-based wellness strategies to authentic self-discovery, we'll explore what it takes to thrive through expert interviews and real unfiltered stories. Let's dive into today's episode. Hey, welcome back, everyone, to Love Your Life and Yourself. And today, it's just me. And we are going to talk about love without agreement. And I think this is really weighing on my heart today as I'm recording this. It is the day after Charlie Kirk has been assassinated and killed. And in the same week, we had a innocent bystander on a train. And here in Minnesota, we had a Catholic school be shot up. And it makes me think this podcast is not red against blue, or it's not about politics. It's not about religion. It's not about sexuality. This is an open conversation into my heart right now and how it's feeling. And I can't believe I'm getting emotional right now, but as I think about these events and what they mean for me, I remember sitting across from a family member and realizing, wow, I see this completely different than they do. And this has happened with a couple of friends of mine more often in the last couple of years. And actually not really, it's happened my whole life, but I've had this different realization in the last couple of years. And instead of trying to be right, I'm really trying to be a listener. And as I was having this conversation with this individual, I saw it as completely different. And initially, I feel like I have more of a spicy personality, a blunt, and this reaction is to defend myself, right? We all want to be right. But then I asked, do I want to be right, or do I want to love them? And so this isn't about politics. This is not about red or blue or religion or who's right and who's wrong, but it's about living from love, even if you don't see eye to eye. And living from love and nonviolence, from both a physical nonviolence, but a mental, emotional, and toxic violence of what your keyboard can do or what your mouth can do. And the thing is, our brains are wired for safety and belonging. So when someone disagrees, it can feel like rejection to our nervous system. It can feel like a sense of we don't belong. And that's why our heart races or our body tenses up, or we feel this anxiety. It feels threatening. And the thing is, our culture, it rewards this outrage. It rewards taking sides. And right now I feel like there's this just white and black polarity in our culture. And it's so noisy with opinions. And we've equated this disagreement with division. And I think there's another way. I think that you can have an opinion and speak that loud and truthfully, yet still have respect for someone who disagrees with you. And I've absolutely felt deeply misunderstood as a practicing chiropractor. and a female business owner and as a advocate for health, I don't always stand in alignment with what mainstream medicine or mainstream media says. And so I've been called all sorts of names. A quack. I've been called a not a real doctor. She has no idea what she's talking about. I've been made fun of and deeply misunderstood because I think people see my pathway and my journey and say that's not mine. And so they don't even listen. And they get very defensive because it's not the way they think or what they do. And you feel shut down. It stings a little bit. And as you get, you know, more and more used to those stings, it becomes less of a penetration underneath your skin, but it still hurts a little bit. And I think that's where we need to start to slow down and say, hey, like at what cost? But what if a disagreement isn't actually a bad thing? What if we open or have this invitation to learn more, to understand better, or to deepen our love? And so when we have this nervous system reaction that, oh my gosh, I'm not safe, I don't belong, we just want to completely remove ourselves from it, right? We have to go back to safety. And I found myself doing that this last night and this morning after I heard. I've been speaking more for you, for those listeners. Obviously, I have a podcast, but I've been on stages more in the last couple of years than I ever have with bigger audiences. And by no means do I have an audience the size of Charlie Kirk, but it really got me thinking of like, oh my gosh, is my truth, saying my truth, worth it? Do I want my family in danger? Do I want myself in danger? Do I want to put that pain through the people that I love because someone disagrees with what I'm saying? And that fear crept in for a while, and I spent a lot of time this morning in my Bible. And it's just this internal, what do I call it? It's this internal conflict of, in America, we're taught like freedom of speech. We can say something, but you might get shot or because you disagree with me. So it, you don't have to agree to accept someone as worthy of love. And this disagreeing does not equal disliking. I think a lot of us confuse the opinions of others with identity, but disagreement about a belief doesn't mean that you're rejecting that person. And so my question to you is, how can we start to listen without rushing to respond? Or saying, hey, I don't see it that way, but I see you. I don't agree with you. And that's okay. We can agree to disagree. When did that just not be okay to say? I agree to disagree. We might not see eye to eye on this, and that's okay. See, the thing is, I think we need to respect these boundaries that have been so destroyed, and we don't need to try to convince or control people. I think we can have that opinion and speak it truthfully, what you believe in your soul, and still be friends. Like, I have some family and friends that very much we have different opinions on certain things. And I don't agree with some of their methods. I don't agree with some of their choices. I make very, very different choices for me and my family. And yet I can still support them as a mom. I can still support them as a wife. I have patients all the time. I have patients from different ethnicities, different races, different religions, different beliefs. Yet when they walk in my office, we have one goal, and that's to get healthier. And that's what I'm about. I think regardless, I think the majority of us people, we want the same thing. We want to feel belonged. We want to feel safe. We want to have health and vitality and a clear mind and a great working digestive system and immune system and healthy relationships and a good education and a loving, kind, respectful family. We want these same things. So just because we get there in different ways doesn't mean we have to disown the other person. And by all means, I am absolutely guilty of the later. You know, in my early years of my career, I said some things that I uh, have asked for forgiveness for many times. You know, I was fast to react, hot headed, and when triggered, I just let them have it. And the thing is, you can learn and evolve and grow into this, and it probably doesn't happen after or instantly. But when we can start to get curious, we will not fire in that stress response anymore. And we can actually start respecting people, even if it's different than us. So when we're triggered, pause. Look, just taking 3 breaths can calm that nervous system. And it's less reactive. The other thing is when we look at curiosity, when we can get curious instead of just furious, we can ask the question of like, what life experiences shaped this opinion for them? This curiosity disarms the defensiveness that we want to go into. Start to enter into the mind that they are in or the shoes that they are in. And what possibly shaped them to form this? Now, you can agree or disagree with that and their views, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you have to agree with them. But when you get curious, your defensive armor starts to get a little bit looser. You don't always have to have the shield up. And the thing is, most of us have some common ground. Almost always, even if we have different opinions, we both want the best for our kids. We both care about the future. We both want to take care of our earth. We both want the freedoms. We both want health and vitality. We both want amazing relationships and understanding, right? It's just a different way to get there. So I just want you guys to remember that behind every strong opinion, there's fear, there's pain, and there's deep value. And love looks past the words and truly sees that heart of that person because everyone has a story. And we need to pray for those people hurting. It love doesn't mean we're tolerating the disrespect. And you can say, I care about you, but I will not continue this conversation if it turns hurtful. And you can do this within your marriage. You can do this within your family members, with your friends. And I think when we start to turn from this me versus you versus like just us, we're just navigating differences. It's not a battle to win. And I'm telling you, if you try to win, you're losing because you will fight to the death to be right instead of, is this a relationship you want to preserve? Is it a close relationship? If it's not, you can agree to disagree. But start seeing these disagreements as growth. It can sharpen your empathy, your deepening listening skills, and really start to expand this perspective of how the world is for some other people. And if it's not the way you see it, it's okay. It doesn't demand that we agree, but I think it gives us this space to understand, huh, okay. Thank you guys. This was a little bit heavier on my heart today as we navigate all of the polarities of our world. And I try to put it in perspective of, this has been going on for centuries. I look back at even Bible stories of disagreements and killings, and um, this has been going on in our society. Now it's just really very much readily available at our fingertips, so we see it. So I also want to encourage you to know that there absolutely is more good than hate in this world. But I think there can be more good and less hate, and stop spreading it. Let's spread the good news. All the love and respect. Till next time. Thanks for tuning in to Love Your Life and Yourself. I hope today's episode gave you one more tool or one more truth to help you thrive in your health, happiness, and resilience. Remember, loving yourself isn't selfish, it's leadership. And it's the foundation for building a life that actually feels like yours. If this spoke to you, hit that follow button, leave a review, and send it to a friend who needs to hear it. And if you want to dive even deeper, grab a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Love Your Life and Yourself. It's the heart behind this podcast, and it's helped thousands of women step into a life they actually love. You can find it at drashleyrath.com or through the link in the show notes. Until next time, take care of you and keep choosing to love your life and yourself.